Hey guys, and welcome back to the JTO channel. And this is your match review of Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 1. Yep, we drew the game. Very, very disappointing. I mentioned yesterday how Chelsea must end the international break on a high, talking about the fixtures ahead and how we can potentially go on a winning streak. Well, we're going to have to start that winning streak when we come back from the international break because we've ended this game in a draw. So yes, 2 weeks to dwell on this result, and yeah, just poor second half, I must say, and it was just embarrassing in the second half. But we'll get into it soon enough. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. Turn on those post notifications, and yeah, let's get this show rolling, man. So Maresca came out with the lineup, of course. It was the team that I said we should play yesterday, and it was the team we did play. It was Sanchez in goal. You saw the back four: Gusto, Colwill, Fofana, Cucurella, with Gusto inverting. Midfield of Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, Madueke on the right, Pedro Neto on the left, Nicholas Jackson up front. And I thought the first half was really good. I actually really liked our first half performance. I thought we were moving the ball well for the most part, maybe slow at times, but for the most part, we were moving the ball well. I thought the standout players were Colwill, Fofana. I thought they were really doing well today at the back, especially Wesley Fofana today. He's probably the only. I'd probably give man of the match to him in terms of Chelsea side because he was very good in the first half, and in the second half, he was probably the only one of the only players who did their job properly in the second half, alongside Cole and players like that defensively. So I thought those two were pretty good. I thought Palmer and Madueke's relationship in the first half was blossoming once again. I thought Jackson was doing well, winning a couple fouls, driving with the ball. I thought Caicedo, I mean, for me, he was the best player in the first half for me. Caicedo and the role he was put into there, I thought that was very interesting from Maresca, I must say. Um, because obviously last week, Gusto was inverted next to Caicedo, but today, there was no number six in terms of midfielder. Enzo slightly tweaked his tactics today, in which he put Fofana basically as a right back. Caicedo dropped in at centre back next to Levi Colwill with Cucurella as the left back, and I thought to myself, wow, like we've got the back four there. There's like this massive hole in the middle, and then you've got Enzo Palmer and like Gusto forming like a line of three with our two wingers in Neto and Madueke, and you've got Jackson up front. So it was almost like a four, and then you had like a 5-1 type formation, but we had literally no six. That gave us the license to allow Palmer to drop deep when he wanted to, receive the ball, go on the half turn and drive with the ball. It allowed Enzo to drop deep on the ball and maybe pull off some passes. Gusto drops in as the lone six. You know, they all took it in turns, and whenever one would drop, the other two would go into the advanced 10 positions. And I thought the link up, the chemistry on that front was pretty good. Um, so I kind of rated that from Maresca because even when we lost the ball, it allowed Caicedo to just be aggressive straight away, run onto the man that's on the ball, tackle them straight away. His tackling still needs to improve because he did give away, so he was reckless with his tackling at times today. But overall, on the ball and defensively in the first half, I thought Caicedo was quality, brilliant, much better from the first half against Wolverhampton. So, despite this, I felt like Crystal Palace, they were slowly getting into the game. They had their spells of possession. They didn't create too many chances, but it felt like they were in the game. It didn't feel like we was totally dominating Crystal Palace. And then at one point during the game, it was sort of like a yo-yo fashion where we got on the ball, but we lost it, and then they got onto the ball and they lost it quickly. Then it happened to us, and then them again, and then eventually they lose the ball. Mark Gahey driving with the ball, he loses it out. We go on the counter attack. Pretty sure Palmer's the one who drives with the ball, or was it Madueke? It was one of the two. I'm pretty sure it was Madueke. Palmer makes a run in behind, gets fed to him. Then he cuts it across to the box. Nicholas Jackson tap in 1-0 Chelsea on the counter attack. It was nice. It was chaotic though. And yeah, we get the first goal. And you think to yourself, good stuff. Hopefully we can create more chances and hopefully score more goals because Palace are in the game. You know, for as well as I believe we did in the first half, Palace are still in the game. They're still playing some decent football. Glasnow's got this 3-4-3 setup. I told you a lot about Palace yesterday, and despite the slow start to the season, I expect them to still be a good side this season and, show their quality to the Prem this season and, give teams a hard game today. And I believe Palace overall, I think they deserve their point. And, this is where we go into the second half. I mean, poor, just poor from everybody, especially on the ball today. On the ball, so poor, man. I mean, let's talk about obviously the goal they scored. I think it was off a corner. Um, the ball ricochets. It ends up going to Eze, who has so much time and space to just pick out where he wants the ball to go. Takes the strike, goes into the back of the net. Sanchez no chance, and he scores. The only player in that Palace team you don't want to give that much space to is Eberiche Eze. We gave him the space, and what did he do? He put it in the back of the net. Why? Because he's a baller. He's a good player. And then from that point on, Palace grew in confidence. They started to get onto us a little bit. I'm getting worried about us. I'm thinking, what's going on now? Because all of a sudden, the ball losses, the quality, the patterns of play, the ideas weren't there. And I believe this is why I have to go to Maresca. That whole second half, in terms of what was the plan to break them down? Because it looked like Palace were just calm in their mid-block. We really struggled trying to play through the middle today, especially in the second half. We had no answers for Glasner's tactics. We had to go out wide a lot of the time, and we couldn't find joy there either, because that's what Palace wanted us to do. We just couldn't play through the middle a lot today. With the fact that they've got their 2 10s, Eze and Kamada, they've got Adam Wharton, Will Hughes, who, by the way, should have been sent off. Referee put in a stinker today. Look, I'm not blaming him for the fact that we drew today. We should have done better. But the fact that Will Hughes didn't get sent off, come on. For that free kick on Palmer. Come on. He was already on a yellow. That's a yellow card. Because I can guarantee you guys, if he's not on a yellow card, Will Hughes, in that moment, that's a yellow card. The referee put in a stinker today. Palace players were allowed to foul us 3-4 times before they got a yellow card, whilst the likes of Wesley Fofana does one foul, he gets a yellow card. It's like, what the hell are we doing here? So the referee was poor today, and then as soon as that happened, Will Hughes got subbed off. And I'm thinking, because Glasner knew he was one away from a red. He knew he was this close to a red. But he should have been sent off already. He got a yellow card, then he put in another dirty challenge on Caicedo, right? He got away with that one. Then he put in another challenge on Palmer, and he doesn't get sent off. Ref put in a stinker today. Stinker from the ref, man. Feels like the quality of these refs is just getting worse. And it's the same referees, by the way. These referees haven't changed. We don't have new names. There's no new faces. It's the same referees. So yeah, that's that on the refs. But in terms of in general, we lacked ideas. All of a sudden, the chemistry, the understanding, the movement, the tactical ideas just were non-existent. I thought the subs, I liked the idea of João Felix coming on, but he was playing as a touchline winger, and he just didn't get involved in the game at all, João Felix, when he came on. He was 10 times better when Mudryk came on, and João Felix was now playing as a number 10 almost, next to Cole Palmer, if you know what I mean. And I felt at that point, okay, that's when João Felix really got into the game more. Him in this left wing, touchline winger, didn't move me at all. He just didn't get on the ball enough. Crystal Palace, they got on a few counter-attacks. Can't lie, I thought Cucurella down that left-hand side. I love Cucurella, but for me, poor second half defensively. He was leaving too much space at times for players to run in behind. I feel like 1v1, he wasn't himself in terms of being aggressive, being touch tight, closing down his man. I felt like he was giving Munoz, I don't know his name, too much time and space to sort of pick out his man. There were 2 occasions that happened. I wasn't happy with that. Gusto today wasn't great, not gonna lie. Another poor performance, and it looks like he's out injured, so we've got to hope and pray that Reece James is back. And if he's not back, then I guess hopefully Lavia is back and fit, so we can probably play Caicedo as a right back, and then have Enzo and Romeo Lavia in the midfield potentially. So let's see what happens with that. I thought Cole and Fofana were good today. I've got nothing to say bad against them today. Robert Sanchez, not much bad things to say about Robert Sanchez today. Can't blame him for the goal. I didn't like the way he handled the last moments. When Crystal Palace like booted the ball forward, there was like a minute or two to go. He tells the defender to leave it, and then he just boots it and gives Crystal Palace a throwing. Because he's the reason Crystal Palace ended the game with the ball, why they were in the front foot, you could say, at the end. But other than that, nothing to say bad about Robert Sanchez. Nothing bad to say about the centre-backs. I thought Fofana was quality today. Quality today. Gusto poor, Cucurella poor in the second half, and was giving away the ball far too much towards the end of that game as well. He's got to do better. Enzo Fernandez today, other than that brilliant pass he gave in the first half for Madueke that hit the crossbar, poor again. Enzo Fernandez, right? His biggest quality, one of his biggest strengths, is his passing. And his passing today was just not there. It was poor. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what's this? Because if this is Conor Gallagher, we're all cussing him out. So we've got to cuss out Enzo when he's doing it as well. So for me, poor from Enzo Fernandez in terms of his passing overall today. Very uninspiring. And then every time he tried to pull off a pass that you thought, oh, good idea, execution's all over the place. So yeah, Palmer, I thought Palmer had a good first half, poor second half. Really poor second half in terms of dribbling wasn't there, losing the ball far too much, loose touches, loose passing, heavy passing. Everything about Cole Palmer's second half performance just stank. I'm not going to lie. Just wasn't good enough. Madueke in the second half, not good enough either. He did absolutely jack all in the second half. Did nothing. Nicholas Jackson did nothing. He had one chance. He didn't secure it in the back of the net. So yeah, overall poor. Maresca's got to do better tactically as well, because I don't know what the idea was. I don't know tactically what the plan was to break down Crystal Palace's mid-block, especially in the second half. In the second half, we had our struggles at times, but I thought overall we played well in the first half. Second half, felt like tactically, subs, where he was positioning them, didn't like it whatsoever. So he's got to do better in terms of that. And yeah, we end the international break on a 1-1 draw. There's nothing really much else to say. Just poor overall. That's the first draw between Chelsea and Crystal Palace since 1995, by the way. That's mad. I was talking about yesterday how we have a very good record against Palace, that you can't even remember the last time we lost to Crystal Palace. I genuinely can't. The last time we drew to them, the commentators were saying 1995. That's nearly 30 years ago. That's 29 years ago, That's mad. 29 years ago? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 29 years ago, yeah. I'm just getting my math sorted out there. So, madness, man. So, yeah, Chelsea feels like a loss. I was about to say we lost the game. It felt like a loss. I was worried at one point that we were going to lose because we just didn't look like scoring whatsoever. And with the attacking talent we've got, I don't want to be saying that too many times. With the attacking talent we've got, I don't want to be coming on here and saying we didn't look like scoring today. So hopefully, this is one of the only few times in the season where I say we didn't look like scoring today, because we genuinely didn't. So yeah, that's your review, guys. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Give me your thoughts down below in terms of the performance, players, the manager, the ideas, all of that. Fair play to Crystal Palace. I thought they were they deserve the point 100%. People are going to look at XG. I'm already seeing stats saying we created more XG against Crystal Palace than we did against Wolves. Watch the game with your eyes, man. Seriously. Watch the game with your flipping eyes. Come on. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow probably. So, yeah. See you a lot then. Very disappointed, but we head into the international break, and hopefully Chelsea are better when we're back from then in 2 weeks' time when we play Bournemouth. So, yeah. See you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Peace.